The Magical Kitty. Once upon a time, there lived a queen who had a magical yet beautiful cat named Kisa, which she was very fond of. One day the queen said, "Oh, Pussy, you are happier than I am, for you have parents like us, but I have nobody of my own."
"Don't cry. I will see what can be done."
Kisa was as good as her word. As soon as she returned from the forest to consult a fairy who lived there, the queen had a baby girl. The queen was delighted, and soon the baby began to take notice of the cat as she jumped about the room and would not go to sleep at all unless the cat lay beside her. One evening, when the nurse came to look for the cat to put her in the baby's cot, she was nowhere to be found. There was a hunt for the cat, but it was of no use. The cat had run away, and nobody could tell where she had gone. Years passed, and one day, when the princess was a young girl and playing ball in the garden, she happened to throw it farther than usual, and it fell into a bush. The princess ran after it, and she stopped in front of the long grass. Then she heard a voice.
"Ingebjorg, Ingebjorg, have you forgotten me? I am Kisa, your sister." "But I never had a sister." "Don't you remember how I always slept in your cot beside you?" "Well, why did you go away then?"
But before Kisa could answer, Ingebjorg's attendants arrived breathless on the scene, and Kisa went back to the forest. The princess was very much vexed with her attendants and told everything to the queen. Yes, it is quite true what Kisa said. I should have liked to see her again. The next morning, it was very hot, and the princess declared that she must go into the forest where it was cool because of big shady trees. As usual, her attendants also came with her, and while sitting beside the stream, her attendants fell asleep. The princess saw this, and she walked on and on, expecting to see some fairies or little brown elves. But instead, she met a horrible giant.
"Oh, I was searching for a servant and found you now. If you don't want to die, come, follow me."
The princess felt very afraid, but as there was no use in disobeying the giant, she walked quietly behind. They went a long way, and Ingebjorg grew very tired and at length began to cry. Then, turning around, the giant said,
"I don't like servants who make nasty noises. If you want to cry, I will give you something to cry about."
And drawing an axe from his belt, he cut her precious anklet from her feet, which was entirely made up of gold and garnished with precious stones, and put it in his pocket. Then he went away, leaving her alone. Poor Ingebjorg sits on the grass. The sun was still high in the heavens when she heard the sound of wheels.
"Somebody please help me! I'm coming!"
And in another moment, a cart made its way through the trees, driven by Kisa, who used her tail as a whip. Kisa saw Ingebjorg sitting there. She jumped down and took Ingebjorg back to her little hut. When they finally got there, Ingebjorg was exhausted and eagerly drank some milk, and then sank back on the cushions.
"You will go to sleep now. I will come back in a little while."
Then Kisa got into the cart, drove straight to the giant's cave. Leaving her cart behind some trees, Kisa crept gently up to the open door and listened to what the giant was mumbling about while he was eating supper.
Now that silly princess will learn to not cry without a reason.
And he was so busy calling Ingebjorg all sorts of names for her bad behavior that he didn't notice that Kisa was emptying a whole bag of salt into his big bowl of soup, and in a big gulp, drank that soup and cried.
What is this? How did it become so salty? If I don't get some water, I'm gonna die."
And rushing out of the cave, he ran down towards the river. Then Kisa entered the hut and found Ingebjorg's anklet, and putting it in her cart, drove back again. Ingebjorg was thankful to her. Kisa came in, holding up the princess's precious anklet.
Oh, thank you, Kisa. This anklet is very dear to me, and you found it. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, I will deliver you to your home again.
And so she did. And when Kisa drove the cart up to the palace gate, and the king and queen saw their lost daughter sitting beside her, they asked Kisa what she wished for a reward.
We will talk about that later.
She made her best bow and turned back. The princess was very unhappy when Kisa left her. She would neither eat nor drink.
If this goes on, our daughter will die.
Is there anything we haven't tried yet?
Well, we haven't tried marriage. Let's try marrying her to someone, and maybe that will cheer her up.
What about just getting another cat?
No, marriage. Trust me.
And soon, the king invited all the princes from neighboring kingdoms and made the princess choose a husband from among them. At last, she fixed upon a young prince. The king and the queen were greatly pleased, and they gave orders that a splendid feast should be prepared. When the marriage was over, Kisa suddenly appeared.
I have come to claim my reward. Let me sleep for this night at the foot of the princess's bed. Is that all? It is enough.
And when the morning dawned, it was no cat that lay at the foot of the princess' bed, but another beautiful princess.
I was enchanted by a spiteful fairy. I could not free myself till I had done some kind deed.
Then they were all the more delighted, and Princess Kisa also married another prince and went away to govern one of her kingdoms. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment.